Dynamite, and that is that current owner and founder of All Elite Wrestling, multi-billionaire Tony Khan, announced I believe at the open of the show on TBS this past week that he had purchased or had agreed on a deal to purchase Ring of Honor Wrestling. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, AEW is now the owner of Ring of Honor. And that just pretty much confirms a lot of speculation going around the IWC the past few weeks, the past few months, pretty much the past few years, ever since AEW was founded, and ever since, All Out came, or was produced by Ring of Honor. And then that didn't cement itself into Ring of Honor's legacy, but rather it started the creation of AEW. That's something that everyone out there started to theorize, and it finally came true. And the sad part about this, and I'm just going to touch upon this because it's something inevitable, the sad part about this happening was that it had to happen after a worldwide pandemic, after Ring of Honor Wrestling was unable to produce shows anymore with fans in attendance that really hurt their business, and ultimately it led to the current, or to the former version that we all knew and love of Ring of Honor Wrestling to end its course, to run its course. And now it has gone the way of WCW and ECW because they have been bought by a bigger wrestling corporation. And the question that every single wrestling fan out there is asking themselves is, will Ring of Honor Wrestling cease to exist? Will Ring of Honor Wrestling continue, but be a watered down version, kind of like in the same vein that WWE brought ECW back in 2006? Or will Tony Khan try to maintain Ring of Honor in the way that it was, and give it its own identity and let it be its own brand? Just, it won't be any type of competition to anyone at this point, because we now know that they are now a subsidiary, and pretty much a lot of wrestling fans don't like this word, but it's pretty much now, it's going to be developmental for All Elite Wrestling. All in all, this is pretty much a positive for everyone but Ring of Honor for the most part, because yes, Ring of Honor gets to continue its legacy and gets to keep the brand alive, or that's what it seems that Tony Khan is planning to do with the brand, because he did say that he was looking to secure a streaming deal, where fans could just access Ring of Honor's thousands of hours historic tape library on demand. So he's working on that. Hopefully it comes in conjunction with AEW, and they're able to put both of those products on a streaming service. And rumors since last December, since it was announced that Ring of Honor Wrestling was going on hiatus, was that Ring of Honor Wrestling was not going to be the exact same product, the exact same company that it was before it took the hiatus. And a lot of wrestling superstars out there that were contracted by Ring of Honor Wrestling before the hiatus have confirmed that they are no longer contracted in any way or form to ROH. They have no alignment with Tony Khan at this point. We have the upcoming Supercard of Honor during WrestleMania weekend coming up, where a few of the wrestlers, namely the Briscoes, current Ring of Honor World Champion Jonathan Gresham, and former Ring of Honor World Champion, still has the original current design of the world title belt, Bandito. They're going on one-on-one in that unification match to decide the one true and only undisputed Ring of Honor World Champion. So that's confirmed, but either way, they are not currently contractually linked to Ring of Honor Wrestling. Now, the positives that I see here is that AEW has so much talent, and they're planning on bringing in so much talent into the company that they don't have any use for them. When's the last time you saw Brian Cage? When's the last time you saw Jay Lethal? When's the last time they used Ricky Starks to his full potential? And that's just the tip of the iceberg. And yes, you have shows like Dark and Dark Elevation, where you put these guys on a third and fourth tier show under the AEW banner, and it doesn't really make any difference. Yes, you're giving them work. Yes, you're giving them reps and matches, but ultimately, if you're a professional wrestling fan, namely a mainstream wrestling fan, what matters to you is what you see on Dynamite. What matters to you is what you see on Rampage. What matters to you is what you see on AEW pay-per-views. What you're going to see at Revolution this upcoming weekend for AEW. That's what matters. If you're working dark elevation, that's fine. You're working your craft. You're getting paid. And ultimately, you're given a chance for the higher-ups, the backstage agents, the Tony Khan, and all the EVPs left in AEW to look at you and think of something to do with you in the future. Now, with Ring of Honor, they have their own broadcasting distribution deal still in place. They still have TV tapings, and they still have Supercard of Honor coming up. They still have plenty of hours to book. You can send a Brian Cage and a Ricky Starks and a Jay Lethal down to Ring of Honor Wrestling and have them lead the brand forward and have them take Ring of Honor and put that brand and put that show on their backs in the meantime while they get their footing back in AEW. So I see that as a positive for all elite wrestling. And Ring of Honor fans, as far as, as I can tell, you're going to have to stick it out. Yes, the ROH brand is going to continue, and it's going to continue under the AEW banner, and that's something that a lot of you might have wanted at this point because we haven't had any Ring of Honor content as of late. But it will never be the same again. Ring of Honor will never be the same again. That era, the era of Honor, was surely ended, and now Ring of Honor is basically NXT. Ring of Honor is basically OVW. Ring of Honor, like I said, is basically the modern version of ECW and WCW, and that's just something that we are all gonna have to accept. And well, there are rumors out there that Cody Rhodes' talks with WWE have fizzled out. Does that mean that Cody Rhodes doesn't go back on his word technically? Because yes, he left AEW, but now he could go to Ring of Honor and go back to what he used to do for that brand? That's a possibility. Anything can happen in professional wrestling. All I know is the Ring of Honor brand will continue to live, will continue to be alive, we'll still be able to see it, just Tony Khan took it under his corporation, under his management, and we'll see what happens. So, all in all, what do you think is going to happen with Ring of Honor? Do you like the idea of Tony Khan buying Ring of Honor Wrestling? Do you think that was the best foot forward for him and the professional wrestling industry? Do you think it would behoove him to just make Ring of Honor pretty much an indie wrestling company and just promote their tape library on a future streaming deal along with AEW content? Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions on the comment section below.